Being the 25th day of June 2024, a day when now we are waiting to see the Committee of the Whole House debating on the controversial Finance Bill of 2024. We are waiting to see what the parliamentarians will have in store this particular day. It has created a lot of storm and debate across the country, rage and, affirmation from members of parliament who are allied to the Kenya Kwanza government that everything is in place. The president over the weekend also said that he is ready to have a conversation with the Generation Z. What is going to be happening today? They said they are going full throttle to occupy parliament. But is it so? We have in the constitution some protected areas, or what we call high-risk areas, where nobody should even attempt to access. We'll be taking a look at that and much more on People and Politics. Later on, I have got my guest, that is Peter Simba Wasaga, who is an advocate of the High Court, who is also a political commentator and a governance expert, as well as Dan Nyaga, who is a political analyst, joining me at exactly 7 so that we can take a look at the limits, rights and freedoms in as far as this is concerned. Stay with me. My name is Victor. Welcome. Vivian, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you, Victor, and a very good morning to each and every one of you who is tuned in to Good Morning Kenya this morning, the 25th of June, a day when we are expecting a protest to be taking place in the CBD and some places around the country as the youth are rejecting the finance bill, the hashtag being Occupy Parliament. Now, I'm sure Victor will be talking more about that later on in our political segment, but I've also seen on the papers that principals are against or want grade 8 and 9 to be pushed to secondary school. You know that the junior secondary school consists of learners from grade 7, 8 and 9, and now principals are calling upon the Ministry of Education to move grade 8 and 9 to high school. I don't know how that will pan out. We'll be also checking into that as well. And I have a quote for you for the day, just to take you through the day. And it is either you run the day or you let the day run you. It's you to decide. Vivian Dego is my name. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Vivian. And indeed, today is the 25th of June when the youth have vowed to occupy Parliament, and we are going to see how that will pan out. And some people agree that they have become a potent political force within this country. And of importance to note is how the youth have become so enlightened when it comes to matters, national issues. They want to participate in decision-making processes, be involved at the policy-making level, and this is one of the things that puts our democracy ahead, if you ask me. But we are going to see how that pans out. The MPs are supposed to debate the proposals of the amendment finance bill today, and we are expecting a showdown in Parliament. So we'll see how that pans out. In the meantime, good morning, Ray.
Good morning to you guys. Well, all eyes will be fixed on Parliament, and it's been gathering some storm when it comes to the anti-finance bill 2024. This particular storm has been blowing, particularly on online platforms. And this begs the question, when it comes to matters of technology, how far can we go? And some of the pundits, political pundits, have turned this anti-finance bill campaigns as tech-driven by tech-savvy individuals who are capable of even organizing themselves and ensuring that they get the requisite services from lawyers, doctors, clinical personnel and such during this particular demos. And today, when we're expecting the Committee of the Whole House to actually receive that report from the Finance Committee, well, we'll be focusing on that and what it means. And talking about focusing is a lot has been said, but at the end of the day, the safety begins with you on an individual capacity, and also remember to be your brother's keeper. Yeah. So then let's bring you up to speed with stories that I've been making the last 24 hours as we expect that particular showdown across the country. As Gen Z has promised, it is not backing down, and government maintains, well, it is within your rights, but you operate as stipulated by the law. Speaking of that, is that the government is warning Kenyans planning to hold demos against the Finance Bill 2024 that lawlessness will not be entertained. Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki says protesters must remain peaceful and unarmed and must finish their activities by 6:30 p.m. or by dusk. This as Azimio One Kenya Coalition directed its members of the National Assembly to withdraw amendments to the Finance Bill and instead reject it in totality.
As a section of Kenyans commit to stage demonstrations against the Finance Bill 2024, the government is assuring the rest of the citizenry that their rights will be protected by the state.
Lazima wazingatie katiba na sheria ya nchi ya Kenya. Wasidhulumu wananchi.
Interior Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki warning the protesters against intimidating or causing inconveniences to members of the public going about their businesses or interfering with traffic.
They must not intimidate, harass, or otherwise inconvenience members of the public who are not protesting. They must inform the police of their intentions to exercise this right.
Further, the government insists the protesters must inform the police of the routes and the timings of the activities. These street activities, according to CS Kindiki, must be concluded by 6:30 p.m. or by dusk.
They must not obstruct, block, vandalize, or otherwise destroy any private or public property.
This comes as Azimio One Kenya Coalition directed its MPs to withdraw amendments to the Finance Bill 2024 and instead reject it.
All our members who had proposed some amendments to the bill have been directed to drop them altogether. We have got nothing to do with the bill.
Well, there was a bit of mix-up last week in regard to exactly what was happening at Parliament, where parliamentarians were discussing the Finance Bill 2024 in its original form. And today is when we're expecting to see proposed amendments to that contentious bill. It is in these proposed amendments that the committee has recommended the scrapping off of Eco Levy that is part of this main debate, with the Eco Levy being charged on items including sanitary towels, detergents, and plastic as such. So it is in this particular forum today at Parliament where we're going to see those proposed amendments that want to scrap off Eco Levy on some locally manufactured goods that were to attract the Eco Levy in its original form. It is also in this particular report where we're expecting the Finance Committee to recommend the scrapping off of motor vehicle tax that had been introduced by the bill at 2.5%. It is also in this particular report tabled today that there's also a proposal to do away with VAT on bread. Those were some of the challenges. You know, a majority of Kenyans were not aware exactly what was happening in Parliament and what the parliamentarians exactly vote for last week. So last week, they were voting for the original Finance Bill 2024 that is supposed to give guidelines on how government intends to raise the requisite funds to finance the budget 2024-2025. So today, amendments are going to be introduced to Parliament, and we are going to be on standby to bring you that particular live coverage. Now, still keeping up with what is anticipated is that anti-finance bill activist Boniface Mwangi, Hanifa Aden, and Haki Africa Executive Director Hussein Khalid yesterday evening were released unconditionally by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations after hours of grilling in connection to the Gen Z-led protests The trio spoke to the media, revealed that detectives wanted to know the sponsors and the organizers of the demos ahead of the planned protests today.
At the Directorate of Criminal Investigations DCI headquarters along Kiambu Road, anti-finance bill activist Boniface Mwangi, Hanifa Aidan and Haki Africa CEO Hussein Khalid, in company of their lawyers, who included former Chief Justice William Mutunga, arrived to record statements over the anti-finance bill protest as requested. However, in a sudden twist of events, the three were arrested and grilled for hours. They were later transferred to the regional police headquarters in Nairobi area, where they were detained for several hours before being released unconditionally.
There are two questions that were asked Mwangi, which I found very important. He was asked whether he's getting money from people. Okay, that was, are you getting money? He was asked about his social media activities, all right? And his answer was always, it's in the public domain.
But since now we're free and we're free to go home, we're asking the IG Comet to obey the law and to give us protection tomorrow.
We're going to come out tomorrow in large numbers because we need to be heard. This is a peaceful protest.
The activist said police denied involvement in the abduction of anti-finance bill protesters.
We asked him why the DCI is abducting people. He denied. He said abduction is a criminal act and the police are not involved in abductions. Wow. And we have one of our colleagues right now, Shadi, who is missing, and we demanded that he takes action.
This is as a section of opposition leaders drawn from the Jubilee Party, one of initiating the process to recall their lawmakers who voted in favor of the contentious bill during debate last Thursday.
The process is simple. Correct signatures from your constituency. 30% of those people who are registered as voters, it's no longer the 50%, send the signatures to IEBC with a petition. IEBC will look at it. If they verify the signatures are correct, they would then forward it to Bunge. And that's the end of the story.
The Finance Bill 2024 is expected to be amended in a committee of the whole House in the National Assembly before the third reading on Tuesday.
A group of protesters Monday morning stormed the office of the Nyali Member of Parliament, Mohammed Ali, accusing him of not declaring his position on the controversial Finance Bill 2024. The protesters accused the lawmaker of not representing their interests in the National Assembly. Similar protests were witnessed in various parts of the country, including Kakamega County, where a group of youth stormed an event organized by the county woman member of National Assembly, demanding an audience with Malava legislator.
Protesters in Nyali made good their threats to visit the constituency offices of their Member of Parliament, Mohammed Ali. The protesters demanded to know why their MP did not stand up to be counted among those opposed to the Finance Bill 2024.
Tunataka kujua amekuwa very vocal in other policies. Kwa nini kwa hili jambo la reject finance bill amenyamaza? Kama wa Kenya tumeamua kwa sasa we are going to hold our leaders accountable, and that's why we are here, because we want answers from him.
In Kakamega County, protesters stormed an event organized by the county woman member of the National Assembly, Elsie Muhanda. They attempted to smoke out Malava MP Malulu Injendi, whom they accused of voting for the bill.
Nataka kushukuru president kwa kusema ya kwamba ataongea na vijana. Yes. Hivyo ndio inatakikana.
The protesters chanted slogans and displayed posters denouncing the actions of the lawmaker.
Gen Z, reject! Gen Z, reject! Gen Z.
In Kisii County, a section of the youth has defended the ongoing demos, saying it's the only way of asserting their position in managing the country's affairs.
Wale ambao walikufa, hii government iweze kugharamia hiyo mazishi na iweze kulipa hiyo familia.
Tunataka serikali ambayo ina msimamo thabiti, ikisema imesema na iseme na kutenda. Hatutaki kudanganya, sisi si watoto tena. Gen Z! Reject. Gen Z! Reject.
One of our viewers who's giving their views on where we are and as far as the protest is concerned has just echoed what that young lady has said. And I would want to quote Nancy Koretha, who is a youth mentor, saying that the Generation Z, for them, you have to walk the talk. Keeping up on matters education is that Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Mashogu says the public school term dates will remain unchanged despite some schools breaking early for midterm. According to the Ministry of Education, the midterm break commences on Wednesday the 26th of June and should end on Friday the 28th of June. Learning is expected to resume on Monday, 1st of July.
The normal term date for half term is Wednesday the 26th. Ndio inaanza si leo si kesho, kutoka hapo mtarudi siku ya Jumatatu.
Well, it seems some children are already home. We'll be keeping tabs on that if schools are going to adhere to what the Education Cabinet Secretary, or rather the ministry, has directed about the midterm terms, or is going to proceed to release the students, the learners, early. Now, the first batch of 400 Kenyan police officers has been deployed to Haiti for United Nations Peace Mission. President William Ruto flagged off the contingent at the National Police College Embakasi campus in Nairobi. The head of state expressed confidence that the officers selected based on their integrity, professionalism and capabilities will work alongside their counterparts from other countries to help restore peace in the conflict-ridden Caribbean nation.
Monday at the National Police College Embakasi campus, the first group of 400 police officers in the United Nations Peace Mission to Haiti were flagged off.
You are undertaking a vital mission that transcends borders and cultures. Your presence in Haiti will bring hope and relief to communities torn apart by violence and ravaged by disorder. Both the Transitional Presidential Council and the Prime Minister have shared their expectations that you will support the Haitian police, National Police, in restoring public safety and security. As you perform this role, you are expected to embody the highest standards of integrity and professionalism, always bearing in mind that you are representatives of the mission's lead country and our ambassadors of stability and security as a country. Your performance in this assignment must be a firm statement of Kenya's capability and contribution to global peace and security, and a clear response to doubters and naysayers about your competence, integrity, and professionalism, as well as our nation's credentials.
President William Ruto noting that though the people of Haiti were the first to liberate their land from slavery and colonialism, their freedom was short-lived.
The next contingent of your colleagues will be joining you soon. Proceed with the assurance that your deployment will quickly reach the required optimal numbers for you to undertake this most critical, urgent, and necessary mission.
This is the first time that the National Police Service is spearheading an international peace support system endorsed, sanctioned, and supported by the United Nations.
These officers will make a difference to the life of the Haitian police and the life of the Haitian communities, and they will make a difference and make us proud once they are deployed in those areas.
The head of state assured the officers that the international community has the confidence in Kenya to lead the peace mission in Haiti, even as he called on them to embody the highest standards of integrity.
Your families, the people of Kenya, the government of Kenya, and me as your president, we are all behind you. We will support you.
Meanwhile, President Ruto has announced a salary increment for police officers beginning next month in line with recommendations of the task force that was led by former Chief Justice David Maraga.
This comes at a time when Kenya has been signed off as a non-allied member of NATO. To the corridors of justice, the Director of Press Service at the Office of the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, Salim Swale, and 5 others were detained yesterday afternoon when the court would rule on custodial orders of the 14 days being sought by the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. Milimani Principal Magistrate Ben Mark Ekubi made the decision following a lengthy submission by the prosecution and defense teams, which went beyond 5 p.m. yesterday.
On Tuesday, the court is expected to rule whether Otieno Japolo, Terry Kemunto, Daniel Omondi, Salim Swale, John Wabomba and James Makoha will be detained further pending investigations into alleged fraud and extortion.
I need time to record statement from main contractors who are based in UAE and who are victims in this case.
The prosecution is seeking to hold them for 14 days to complete the investigations.
On the part of the state, we ask the court to be guided by that application and the affidavit annexed to it, and the answers of the IO on the dock.
The defense, on the other hand, has requested bail pending investigations, stating that police have not provided compelling reasons to detain them.
This is a matter where the respondent is being dragged to you because people want that office vacant.
You must have taken their passports and taken their biodata, correct? And ascertained their nationalities, correct? Yes. Any chance any of the arrested persons is a citizen of any of the countries you're interested in?
Elsewhere, the DCI has been granted 14 days to continue detaining a middle-aged woman over alleged child theft.
The hope of the state, even as we seek for the 21 days, we can have progressive report of the 2 children. And we even the accused person, apart from that rented house, we have no other information about her. She can relocate anytime.
Evelyn Bonarelli-Okea was found by her neighbors with 2 toddlers, aged 7 weeks and 3 weeks respectively. The court was informed that preliminary investigation had revealed the children had been ferried from Vihiga County and police need time to unravel the truth.
Nime appreciate ile extent ya investigation na pia ina entail other counties which is far away from Nairobi. So naona application yao iko merited. So ndawakubalia hiyo ili wafanye uchunguzi sana sana kwa sababu inahusiana na mambo ya watoto. So ndawapatie hiyo, nitakubali hiyo application yao, lakini utakuwa remanded pale Kilimani for 14 days.
Now we cross over to business, where the Africa Development Bank is set to roll out a 105.4 million shillings Rural Transformation Center digital platform project that aims to put farmers in a single electronic system. The platform plans to eliminate middlemen in the Irish potato, milk and maize value chains in 3 counties by linking them directly to the market.
The quantity of milk purchased by processors from farmers went up by 27.7% in the first quarter of this year as dairy production increased. According to the Kenya Dairy Board data, processors purchased a record 216.6 million litres between January and March compared to 169.6 million last year. To protect dairy farmers from exploitation by middlemen, the Cooperative University will roll out a Kenya Rural Transformation Center digital platform that will connect farmers with the market.
The digital platform is designed to make sure even they are called feature phones. Yes, even the feature phones can be able to feed into the digital platform and be able to access information.
Already, farmers in Narok, Nakuru, Baringo and Nyandarua have been onboarded into the platform.
This digital platform is supposed to make sure that players within the value chains are visible to with one another.
The farmers have been organized in cooperatives where they sell milk directly to big processors, reducing milk hawking.
Bereni tulikuwa tunapeleka kwa barabara, mengine ilikuwa inachukuliwa na brokers. Sasa ikichukuliwa na brokers, sasa pengine mtu anakosa kulipwa, tena hata pesa inapotelea. Lakini kutoka tuanze mambo ya comparative, masiwa yangu sijakuwa na shida yoyote.
Counties have also purchased milk coolers for the farmers cooperatives to reduce post-harvest losses.
Wakileta maziwa yao kwa dairy, at the end of the month, wakati ya payment, hawa na process na tunatengenezea wa pesa zao in advance. By tarehe 5, tarehe 6, tumekuwa tumewalipa wakulima wote pesa zote za maziwa.
The cooperatives have also started value addition on milk, producing an array of milk products to increase their earnings. The AFDB digital platform will also see farmers access extension and government subsidy programs online.
To sports, the National Rugby Sevens team Shujaa is drawn in Group B of this year's Paris Olympic Games. Shujaa will battle it out in Group with Samoa, Australia and second-seeded Argentina.
Kenya will be aiming to improve on its showing at the previous games in Rio de Janeiro and Tokyo, where it was ranked 11th and 9th respectively. Shujaa will take on Samoa, Australia and Argentina in group matches. Tokyo silver medalist New Zealand are in Pool A, which consists of Ireland, South Africa and Japan. In Pool C, host France will take on defending and two-time champions Fiji, USA and Uruguay. The Olympic Games is scheduled on 26 July to August 11th, with the Rugby Sevens action taking center stage from 24th to 30th July at Stade de France. Meanwhile, Kenya's women national rugby team Lionesses will miss out on the Olympic Games after losing 24-7 to Hong Kong, China in the women's repechage final played in Monaco.
And now they've got the golden ticket. China is on the way to Paris. Absolutely.
Now, that puts a cap on Matters News this morning. Be sure to visit our website for further details. That is www.kbc.co.ke. All eyes are going to be focused on Parliament today amid expected demos on the Anti-Finance Bill 2024 at a time when Parliament is expected to receive a report from the Finance Committee there that has recommended various recommendations to that contentious bill. And KBC Channel 1 is going to be on standby to bring you up to date with whatever transpires at Parliament as well as across the country. I leave in the capable hands of my colleague Victor Law, who is going to be addressing the current issues, especially on matters of politics and how this then relates to the Anti-Finance Bill 2024. I'm Regina Manyara. I wish you a pleasant viewing ahead.